Alright, so since G-Fest this weekend and Steve's away, and it's a certain somebody's 20th anniversary, Steve has so graciously finally decided to review this. Is not what I signed up for.
Well, you know, this guy also came out 20 years ago. And I think this is something Steve bought last year at G-Fest. So I guess this is sort of appropriate.
But it's my 20th anniversary and Matt Frank's doing Prince and stuff, but why would he skip me?
I think there's obvious reasons. And one of those could mainly be based off views.
I get a lot of views. Everyone loves me.
Everyone loves you like they love a mosquito bite. Except they could spray that with something to make the itch go away. We're sadly stuck with you.
Aw, that might be the nicest thing you ever said to me.
Yeah, we certainly are raising the bar here. Alright, let's just get on with the video. You know, now that I think about it, I don't think Steve's unboxed his figure yet.
No, I'm pretty sure it showed up in a comparison before.
Nope, can't say I've seen it. So let's destroy this beautiful package to see if we can release this thing from its prison.
You know, normally I'd be opposed to that, but since this isn't a Zilla review, let's do it.
Hey Rangers, welcome to Super Report Reviews. My name's Steve.
My name's Arnaz.
And today we're going to be going over the Bandai vinyl Grand Ghidorah from Rebirth of Mothra 3.
Okay, since you got this, now I can cut in. Look at my burn on my finger, Steve. You can see it on the camera.
Yo, get that grossness out of here.
Look at that. Look at it.
Get out of here. Got this at last year's G-Fest, so since I'll be going for one day for this year's G-Fest, figure this would give me something I could post while I'm away for the day. But what this is the version of King Ghidorah from the film Rebirth of Mothra 3, which is easily my favorite King Ghidorah. It's between that one or Death Ghidorah, or Dessa Ghidorah.
I was about to say, the
Ghidorah
is amazing.
It is really cool. I almost got the X Plus. If they made X Plus of this thing, I wouldn't even question it. Dessa Ghidorah was like, I kind of want it, but shelf availability is a real issue. And this guy takes up as more space than most of my X Pluses.
Well, look at the box.
The box is huge. Which, fun story, starting to go over the packaging, it's just a lot of reds, kind of tells you you're going to have to attach the wings from when you get it out of the packaging. On the front, it just shows you how big this thing is. When fully assembled, gives you another image on the side. Back of the packaging. Arguably the best shot. That actually might be the front.
I was about to say, are you sure that's the back? Because that looks like
nope, it's actually the front of the package because we got the copyright stamp there. So
I like the front better than the back, Steve.
I don't know, I guess they both work. On the bottom, you get some more King Ghidorah heads. Tops, the exact same thing. But when I got this thing at G-Fest, I almost raged because I got back to the hotel and this was like I was leaving. Like I was leaving the next day, so I wasn't planning on going back to the convention. And opened the Ghidorah to check it out because it was like brand new in the package. Like I opened, he let me open it up, and I see like it was still wrapped and everything. Sweet, right?
Yeah.
Get there, get it out of the package, and it had mold all over the figure.
Oh,
it was so bad. Like it smelled like a barn.
oh.
Thankfully, it all washed off really easily. It still looks really great. It didn't damage the paint. That was the thing I was worried about. It corrodes the paint.
Oh, I would have been pissed. I would have been drove back.
Yeah, especially for, I think it was $125 at the convention.
What?
Yeah, he's not a cheap vinyl. So, but it's also the biggest one I have for Bandai.
You paid $125 for, well, I guess when you take away the shipping and the fees and stuff like that from eBay, it might be around...
You know Kaiser Ghidorah goes for more than this, right?
But
Monster X is the same price. Well, he's a pretty big vinyl too, now I think about it. I'll say Legion's like 50 to 70.
But that's Legion, though.
This is Grand Ghidorah. It has Grand in the title.
It wins?
Yes.
You can't read that title. Don't you lie to me. You don't know what that box says.
But since the figure's already been previously opened up out of his cardboard prison, let's just get into it. Alright, so now that we have Grand Ghidorah...
Hey, Steve, the camera's not in the center. You moved it.
It's fine.
No, it's not. It's got to be in center. We're professionals. We have over 30,000 subscribers. We got to be good about this, Steve. There we go.
You're welcome. He's opened up out of his prison. You have to attach the wings. I didn't actually have to heat them up. They just kind of popped right in there.
Wait, are the wings different color than his body, or is that just me?
They're gold with like a copper accent.
So they are a little different, huh?
A little bit. So you get some of the gold, but you get like multi-tones. Because you get the same tones in his skin too. You can see it right there.
I don't know. I like it. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, it looks super fancy. But outside of that, it doesn't really come with any accessories because it's a Bandai vinyl. But for a closer look at its details, for its head sculpt, oh, which head sculpt did we start with? We got three of them. I think these two are the exact same sculpt.
So I'll start with the same ones then.
Right here where you get the slightly closed mouth. Also, I probably should have dusted this figure off before we did this video, but whatever.
You're Steve. To it.
Yeah, it's true. But what's nice, though, is for a vinyl, you get a lot of little intricate details. Because you can even tell, like, the teeth aren't individually sculpted, but they're still painted very nicely. So especially looking at it from a distance, it looks really great. You even still get the blood red on the inside of the mouth. His pupils are actually painted in. But these two are closed, well, more so closed than the center mouth is a little bit more in a roaring pose with its giant little horns on the top here, which is, I always thought was kind of like a neat little differentiation between him and some of the other Ghidorahs, because you can even see here for the other heads, they don't have that little fork going on.
I like the horns, actually.
That you don't have with the regular ones.
The horns in the center look like from a deer.
Yeah, I was to say, they look more like antlers at this point.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Antlers.
But the entire figure is done in a nice metallic gold with some... It's kind of like varying golds, but especially with like the lighting when you turn it. It almost like it changes the coloring. Because the side here, the gold's a little bit more bland, while on the top here, it's definitely a little bit more of a metallic. You kind of definitely see it brightening up the lights around here. But moving down the neck, you get its trademark diamond scaling with some little spikes here coming along the back of the necks with the undersection of the neck.
You know what's my favorite thing, Steve? It's the hairy one.
So the original?
Yeah.
Ghidorah?
Ghidorah.
Ghidorah, the three-headed monster.
Oh, come on. That thing is disgusting, and you know it.
I like Ghidorah. Great, everybody's gonna be like, it's Ghidorah. And I'm like, no, they call it Ghidorah. It's still called Ghidorah in the PS4 game.
We're gonna get yelled at no matter what we do.
It's what we do. But on the other section here, you get some metallic gold for it. What is more reminiscent of a snake underbelly. More or less, the front of the body is very Heisei Ghidorah looking, but you do get where the undersection of the neck's transition into its arm heads. And then with the wings here, which are way too big for my camera, but you can see where the copper is on the undersection of the wing with the gold.
Looks pretty good.
And the way they kind of fan out. It gives it a lot more color than you think it really should. And on the back, you can definitely see it there as well. But still very Heisei Ghidorah in appearance, which I guess this guy's considered Heisei too.
Is he?
Yeah, they're all 90s.
So do they?
But he's very late
like
90s.
The age or like?
Usually it's like the years.
The years?
Yeah. The Showa is the longest running one.
Oh.
Because Showa spans from 50 to 80, or 50 to 70s.
Go Showa.
But moving down its legs, you get some armor plating on the thigh here with some muscle bulges.
I was going to say, I thought those were muscles, man. He's got gains.
He's got all the gains. He squats for days, but you got to figure, you got to hold up 3 extra heads. That's... that takes a little bit extra work. I like, too, how you got, like, the folding of the skin here going down, too. It's got a lot of, like, bending muscles and suit.
You know, I
want to say muscles.
I never understood this part. It's like, okay, they say 3 heads are better than 1, right?
Yeah.
Why is it when he shoots his beam, it's just like a...
It's just kind of wherever.
Yeah.
Because it's 3 different heads. It's got to be hard to process. It's like it takes 2 Jaeger pilots to pilot 1 dude, while this would take like 6.
Speaking of...
All aiming in the same direction. For its toes, done in a metallic gold as well, where you get 4 toes. On the undersection, you get some copyright information. And then coming down its back, where you get some of these spikes, which only the ones from the center neck are the ones that appear on the back. But towards the rear, you get 3 segmenting spikes that pretty much stop here in the middle and then transition into the 2 tails. Which I never quite understood why it didn't have 3 tails when it has 3 heads.
It's all in movies like that where it only has 2 tails.
Yeah, well, he always had 2 tails.
So 1 head, technically 1 head should be like by itself kind of thing. Just out there extra.
Yeah, well, it's like, I almost would have liked to see 3 tails, but I kind of get it because then it'd be, like, looking at it from the top and from the bottom, it'd be very symmetrical, which I don't think would probably be as appealing, to be fair, now I think about it.
We need to write the director of this movie and find out what the heck, man.
Not just everyone. But I like, too, how, like, the end of the tail has definitely this more fish thing going on.
Is he
with all
supposed
the
to be a
spikes.
swimming monster?
Well, no, he flies. You've seen the movie.
I know, and why the heck is a fishtail?
Yeah. He has to swim through space. That's what he does.
Oh, that is true. He is a space monster.
Yeah, but still looks really cool, though, at the end of the tail. And then for its articulation, each of the heads are on a swivel, so they can go to the side, including the center head here. And then they can also rotate side to side for each of the heads. Wings, not a whole lot going on once you get them in there. For the tail, can rotate all the way around. And for the legs, can kick forward and back. And that's about it.
That's it?
Yep.
Oh, man, easiest review ever, Steve.
I know, right? Moving along. So for some quick comparisons, here we have the Bandai Vinyl Grand Ghidorah compared next to some other Bandai Vinyls with the Creations GMK Ghidorah and the Monster Islands King Ghidorah. And here it is next to some X Plus figures with the 30cm Godzilla 1984 and the 25cm Landing Form Ghidorah. And this is kind of hard to show up, but here it is with some other Mothras in my collection with the Bandai Vinyl Mothra Leo and the Rebirth of Mothra 3 Armored Mothra. And, because you guys will probably see this over on the Geek Chest before it shows up here for this comparison, but we have Grand Ghidorah with the Bandai Vinyl Killian from Godzilla Final Wars, and my recently finished Douglas Gordon that I just got done, which turned out pretty darn good, if I do say so myself. So overall for the Bandai Vinyl Grand Ghidorah, I think this thing is awesome. It's easily one of the Bandai Vinyls that I wanted for the longest, and until last year's G-Fest was kind of out of my collection. And it made me sad too, because when I first showed up, I was asking around some of the booths that had a lot of Bandai Vinyls, and everybody was like, oh, we already sold it, and I was like, okay, well, whatever. And I finally just randomly saw it sitting on a shelf for $125, didn't even question the price, just grabbed it and ran off, and still haven't been disappointed with it.
He definitely stands out for a vinyl, that's for sure. But I don't know if he's worth that much, though, Steve. Gosh.
But he's bigger than some of my X Pluses that are like 152.
But X Pluses put like a ton of details into their figures, though. This is
still
just
the same kind of figure. It's pretty much like you get, arguably more vinyl for your buck buying this too. You don't get as much detail, but even that's arguable. Like if it was like a little bit more deeper impressions for the scaling and the heads,
yeah,
you would have an X Plus here.
Yeah, that's true, but
you would have a 25cm. Oh, no, it wouldn't even be 25cm. Like if you're going scale wise, this guy's pretty small for an X Plus. Then
is he?
Well, you figure 25, it'd be bigger than Biolante.
Oh, that would be amazing, though. Yeah.
So that would be cool. I want that. But if you guys were thinking about trying to acquire this at, say, this year's G-Fest or just out in the wilds, for the price I paid $125, I'm pretty happy with it overall, especially with it being an older Bandai vinyl. Because you figure this would have came out in 98, 99. Copyright's in the bottom of the foot. What do you tell me? 98. So, yeah, for it being...
Wait, he's that old?
20-year-old figure that's never had a reissue.
Oh, dang. High five for his quality for being that old. Never mind, I take it back.
Yeah. Well, this guy came out a long time ago. No. This guy came out same year as Zilla.
Don't you compare Zilla to him?
Or is it, do you not compare him to Zilla?
Oh, that is a good question. Who do we now rip on here?
But what do you guys think? If you guys see Rebirth of Mothra 3, what's your favorite King Ghidorah? Is Batch more thing? Please let us know in the comments. We'll have closer pictures of this guy on our Facebook. You can only click the link in the description below. We also have a Patreon account with exclusive prints for the channel, also down in the description. And help us defeat those guys just by hitting that like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. See you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.